I'm Sophie Bennett, 29, and my hands tremble as I slice carrots in my Asheville kitchen, the knife glinting under the dim chandelier. The air feels heavy, like the mist clinging to the Blue Ridge Mountains outside. My husband, Nathan, leans against the counter, his charming smile a mask for the bruises he left on my arms last night. Tonight, my sister Clara's coming for dinner, and one wrong move could unravel the lie I've lived for years. His blue eyes track my every motion, daring me to flinch. I force a smile, but my heart pounds, screaming, "What if she sees the truth?" The doorbell rings and my breath catches. There's no turning back now. Hope you enjoyed this story. Leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear where you're watching from. Now, let's continue with the story. The knife slips in my grip, nicking my finger. A ver egi chepje felsokik, denem merem reagalni. Nathan's voice, smooth as the bourbon he's sipping, cuts through the silence. Careful, Sophie. You're nervous tonight, aren't you? His tone is light, but the undercurrent is sharp, a warning. I nod, dabbing the cut with a dish towel, and force my voice to stay steady. Just want everything to be perfect for Clara and Liam. He chuckles, stepping closer, his hand brushing my shoulder. To anyone else, it'd look affectionate, but his fingers press just hard enough to make me wince beneath my long-sleeved blouse. I turn back to the cutting board, focusing on the rhythmic chop of the knife, trying to anchor myself. Our Biltmore Village home, with its exposed brick and hardwood floors, smells of rosemary and garlic from the roast in the oven. It's the kind of place people envy. Cozy, artsy, quintessentially Asheville. But to me, it's a cage, every corner holding memories of Nathan's anger. 3 years ago, he started small, checking my phone, criticizing my outfits. Then came the control, quitting my graphic design job, isolating me from friends. Now, his fists leave marks I hide with makeup and lies. The doorbell rings again, insistent. Nathan transforms instantly, his face softening into the charismatic CFO of Blue Ridge Brews everyone adores. "I'll get it," he says, striding to the door. I wipe my hands on my apron, stealing a glance at the napkin I doodled on earlier, a sketch of this very kitchen, my face half hidden behind a forced smile. It's my secret rebellion, a way to capture the truth Nathan can't control. I tuck it into my pocket and follow him. Clara steps inside, her auburn hair catching the hallway light, her smile warm but tired. At 32, she's my anchor, the sister who taught me to climb trees and stand up to bullies. But since she married Liam, a real estate developer chasing Asheville's boom, we've drifted. Liam follows, his tailored jacket out of place in our laid-back town, his handshake with Nathan too firm. "Sophie, the place looks amazing," Clara says, hugging me tightly. For a moment I feel safe, her lavender scent grounding me. But Nathan's watching, so I pull back, smiling. "Thanks, just been tinkering with some decor." Liam scans the room, his eyes lingering on a watercolor I painted years ago, before Nathan convinced me my art was a waste. "Did you finally hire a designer?" he asks, smirking. The dig stings, but I laugh it off. "Nope, just too many HGTV marathons." Nathan pours wine, steering the conversation to his brewery's latest IPA, and we settle at the dining table, candles flickering against the darkening windows. Dinner unfolds smoothly, Nathan in his element, telling stories about brewery investors, asking Liam about his latest downtown project. I stay quiet, serving the roast and passing the mashed potatoes, careful not to wince when I reach across the table. The bruises on my arms, fresh and purple, throb under my blouse. Clara's warmth contrasts with Liam's cool detachment. She asks about my old design clients, and I falter. Nathan jumps in, his hand finding mine on the table, squeezing. "Sophie's taking a break. Focusing on us, right, hun?" His grip tightens, a silent command. I nod, my throat tight. "Yeah, just keeping things simple." Clara's eyes narrow, but she doesn't push. Then it happens. I lean to refill Liam's wine, and my sleeve rides up, just enough to reveal a bruise's edge on my wrist. Time slows. Clara's gaze locks on it, her fork pausing midair. Our eyes meet. Hers widen with shock, then something deeper, like she's seeing me for the first time in years. My heart hammers, I tug my sleeve down, but the moment hangs heavy. Nathan's laugh breaks the silence, oblivious, but Clara's jaw tightens. She changes the subject, asking about dessert, her voice too bright. Got any of that famous apple pie, Soph? I nod, retreating to the kitchen, my legs shaky. She saw. But why didn't she say anything? Dessert. Clara's glances burn into me, but she stays silent, her smile strained. By the time they leave, I'm exhausted, my performance as the perfect wife draining me. Clara hugs me longer than usual, her arms gentle like she knows where it hurts. Take care, Sophie, she whispers, her voice heavy. Liam barely nods, already checking his phone. Nathan closes the door, popping open a beer with a smug grin. Told you they'd never suspect a thing. His words land like a punch, confirming my fear. I'm alone in this. I clear the table, my movements mechanical, tears threatening to spill. I'd hoped, foolishly, that Clara would see through my facade, that the sister who once fought my battles would ask the question I can't answer aloud. The napkin sketch crinkles in my pocket, a reminder of the truth I can't speak. I'm halfway through the dishes when I hear it, the front door lock clicking softly. My heart leaps, fear and hope colliding. Nathan's in the living room, feet up, beer in hand. What was that? I call, voice barely audible. He grunts, dismissing it. Footsteps approach, light but deliberate, and I freeze, clutching a plate. Someone's coming back, and everything's about to change. The plate trembles in my hands, water dripping from its edge as the footsteps grow closer. My pulse thuds in my ears, drowning out the low hum of Nathan's TV in the living room. I am standing frozen in my Asheville kitchen, the air thick with the scent of rosemary and fear. The lock clicked moments ago. Someone's here, and I don't know if it's salvation or ruin. I set the plate down, my fingers numb, and wipe my hands on my apron, stealing a glance toward the hallway. Clara's silhouette appears in the doorway, her auburn hair catching the dim light, her face a mask of guilt and resolve. My breath catches. She's alone. Sophie, she whispers, stepping into the kitchen, her boots soft on the hardwood. Her eyes dart toward the living room, where Nathan's laughter mixes with the sitcom's canned applause. We need to talk. I shake my head, panic rising. Clara, you can't be here. Nathan'll... She cuts me off, closing the distance between us, her hands gripping my shoulders gently, mindful of the bruises she saw at dinner. I saw your wrist, I know. Her voice cracks, and something inside me fractures. Hope, maybe, or the weight of 3 years of silence. I pull away, my back pressing against the counter, the cold granite grounding me. You don't know anything? I hiss, but it's a lie, and we both hear it. Clara's eyes, so like our mother's, fill with tears. How long has this been going on? She asks, her voice barely audible over the TV. I open my mouth to deny it, to protect the fragile shell I've built around Nathan's abuse, but the words won't come. Instead, I whisper, 3 years. The truth spills out like blood from a fresh cut. Nathan's control, his anger, the way he stripped me of my job, my friends, my voice. It started small, I say, my hands twisting the dish towel. Checking my phone, telling me I wasn't good enough, then worse. Clara's face crumples and she reaches for me, but I flinch, a reflex I hate. She drops her hands, pain flashing in her eyes. I should have seen it, she says. You've been so quiet, so distant. Liam kept saying it was just marriage stress, that I was overreacting, but tonight that bruise... Her voice breaks again, and she turns away, wiping her eyes. I want to comfort her, to say it's not her fault, but the words stick in my throat. I've spent years convincing myself silence is safety, and now it's unraveling. A shadow moves outside the kitchen window and I freeze, my heart lurching. Clara notices, her eyes narrowing. I didn't come alone, she whispers, stepping toward the back door. She opens it, and a woman steps inside, mid-40s, silver-streaked black hair, wearing jeans and a practical jacket. Her eyes are kind but sharp, like she's seen too many women like me. Sophie, this is Maya, Clara says. She runs a women's shelter here in Asheville. She can help. Maya nods, her presence calm but commanding. I've got a safe house ready, she says, her voice low. No one will find you there. Not Nathan, not anyone. My mind reels. A safe house, leaving Nathan? The idea feels like stepping off a cliff. He'll find me, I say, my voice shaking. He's got money connections. Half the brewery's investors are his buddies. He knows cops. Maya doesn't flinch. We've dealt with men like him before. Our network's secure and we've got legal resources. She pulls a card from her pocket, sliding it across the counter. When you're ready, call. One word and we move. I stare at the card, my fingers brushing its edges, but fear claws at me. Nathan's voice echoes in my head. You'll never survive without me. I shove the card into my pocket, next to the napkin I'd sketched at dinner, Clara's worried eyes captured in hurried lines. Sophie, you're not alone in this. I want to meet you, talk to him, make him stop. Footsteps thud in the hallway and my blood turns cold. Nathan's voice booms, Sophie, who's here? Clara's eyes widen, but she recovers fast, grabbing her purse from the counter. It's just me, she calls, her tone bright. Forgot my scarf. Nathan appears in the doorway, his smile plastered on, but his eyes narrow as they land on Clara. Back so soon, he says, leaning casually against the frame, beer in hand. Maya slips out the back door unnoticed, and I pray he didn't see her. Clara laughs, holding up a scarf I didn't know she'd left. Yeah, left this on the couch. Didn't want to lose it. Nathan's gaze shifts to me, searching for cracks in my composure. Everything okay, hun? He asks, his voice sweet but laced with suspicion. I nod, forcing a smile, my hands gripping the counter behind me. Just clumsy, dropped a plate earlier. He chuckles, but his eyes linger, and I know he's not convinced. Clara hugs me quickly, her arms careful, and whispers, I'm here, Soph. Then she's gone, the door clicking shut behind her. Nathan watches me, sipping his beer, and I turn back to the dishes, my heart pounding. The card burns in my pocket, a lifeline I'm too scared to grasp. But Clara's return, her seeing me, has cracked something open, a flicker of the girl I used to be, the one who sketched fearless dreams. I pull the napkin from my pocket, tracing Clara's eyes, and hide it in a drawer. For the first time in years, I let myself wonder, what if I could escape? The morning sun filters through the curtains of our Biltmore Village home, casting shadows on the hardwood floors. But the warmth does nothing to ease the knot in my stomach. I'm stirring oatmeal on the stove, my hands steadier than last night, but still trembling inside. Nathan's at the table, scrolling through his phone, his suit crisp for another day at Blue Ridge Brews. He's been too quiet since Clara's visit, his silence a warning I know too well. I plate his breakfast, careful not to meet his eyes, and sit across from him, my own bowl untouched. Got plans today? He asks, not looking up, his voice casual but probing. I force a smile, the kind I've perfected over 3 years of his control. Just errands, maybe a walk downtown. He nods, but his fingers pause on his phone, and I know he's testing me. Good, don't stay out too long. Dinner's at 7, right? His eyes flick to mine, sharp and searching. I nod, my throat tight. Of course. He stands, kissing my forehead, his lips lingering a second too long, a reminder of his power. Then he's gone, his Audi purring down the street, leaving me alone with my fear. I clear the table, my movements mechanical, and pull Maya's card from my pocket, hidden inside my napkin sketch of Clara. The shelter's number stares back, but I shove it into my old art supply box, buried under dried-up paints and forgotten dreams. Leaving Nathan feels impossible. His money, his charm, his threats, but Clara's words echo. I saw your wrist. I know. For the first time, someone's pierced my facade, and it terrifies me as much as it thrills me. My phone buzzes, and I flinch, expecting Nathan. It's Liam, Clara's husband, texting, Meet me at Beanworks, 10 a.m. We need to talk. My stomach drops. Liam's never contacted me alone, and his coldness at dinner last night, his jab about hiring a designer, still stings. But curiosity, or maybe desperation, pulls me out the door. I slip on a long-sleeved sweater, hiding the bruises, and head to Haywood Street, Asheville's heart pulsing with street artists and coffee shop chatter. Beanworks is packed, the air thick with espresso and indie music. Liam's at a corner table, his tailored jacket out of place among the flannel-clad locals. His face is tight, his eyes hard as I sit across from him. What's this about? I ask, my voice low, scanning the room for anyone who might know Nathan. Liam leans forward, his voice a harsh whisper. Stop manipulating Clara. Whatever drama you're stirring, it's wrecking our marriage. I blink, stunned. Manipulating? Liam. He cuts me off, his hand slamming the table, drawing a few glances. Don't play innocent, Sophie. Clara's been obsessed with you since dinner, sneaking calls, acting like you're some victim. I told Nathan you might act out, so he's watching you. My blood runs cold. Liam warned Nathan? The betrayal hits like a slap, sharper than any of Nathan's blows. You told him? I whisper, my hands clenching under the table. Liam's eyes soften for a split second, but his jaw tightens. I had to. Clara's neglecting our business, our life, because of your issues. Fix it, Sophie, or I will. He stands, tossing a 10 on the table and leaves me reeling, the cafe's noise swallowing his footsteps. I sit there, numb. I picture Nathan's sudden kindness this morning, a bouquet of daisies on the counter. My favorite pecan pie from a downtown bakery. It's not love. It's a trap, a way to keep me in line. My phone buzzes again, a text from Nathan. Miss you already. Home by 6? I force a reply. Yep, love you, but my fingers shake. Time's running out. Back home, I pace the living room, Maya's card in hand. I can't call yet, fear's too strong. But I need to act. I dig out my old art supplies, finding a burner phone Clara must have slipped into my pocket last night, hidden inside a folded sketch of her worried eyes. My heart races. She's planned this, risked everything. I power it on, finding a single contact. Maya. I don't call, but I start documenting. I photograph my bruises in the bathroom mirror, the purple marks stark against my skin. I record Nathan's voice from memory, mimicking his insults in a whisper, saving it as a test. In my sketchbook, I start a coded journal, disguised as doodles. Dates, times, what he did, hidden in abstract lines. The front door opens, and I shove everything under the couch, my heart in my throat. Nathan's home early, flowers in hand, his smile too wide. Thought I'd surprise you, he says, pulling me into a hug that's too tight. I smile, playing the part, but my mind's racing. Liam's betrayal, Clara's secret phone, Maya's offer, they're threads of a lifeline I'm not sure I can grab. I sketch Nathan's false smile in my mind, vowing to capture it later, a promise to myself. I'm not invisible anymore. I'm standing in my Asheville bathroom, the fluorescent light casting harsh shadows on the mirror. My sleeve is rolled up, revealing the purple bruises on my arm, a map of Nathan's anger from 3 days ago. The burner phone Clara slipped me last night trembles in my hand as I snap photos, each click a small act of defiance. The shower runs in the next room, Nathan's off-key humming filtering through the door. His laptop sits open on the kitchen counter downstairs, a rare mistake, and my pulse races with the chance to find something, anything, to use against him. The clock's ticking, Liam's betrayal has Nathan on edge, and I'm running out of time. I slip the phone into my bra, pull my sleeve down, and creep downstairs. The hardwood floors cool under my bare feet. The Biltmore Village house is quiet, save for the distant patter of water and the hum of the fridge. The laptop screen glows, a spreadsheet open, numbers and dates in neat rows. My heart pounds as I scan it. Blue Ridge Bruises financials, but something's off. Hidden in a folder labeled Inventory, I find transactions to an offshore account, thousands siphoned monthly. Embezzlement. My hands shake as I snap photos with the burner phone, the evidence a dangerous lifeline. If Nathan catches me, I don't know what he'll do. The shower stops and I freeze, my breath shallow. I close the laptop, wipe my fingerprints with my sleeve, and hurry back to the bathroom, hiding the phone in my art supply box under dried-up watercolors. Nathan emerges, towel around his waist, his dark hair damp. You're up early, he says, his voice casual but his eyes sharp, scanning me. I force a smile, my heart hammering. Couldn't sleep, thought I'd sketch something. He steps closer, his hand brushing my cheek, and I fight not to flinch. Good. Keeps you out of trouble. His smile is a blade, and I nod, playing the obedient wife. At breakfast, Nathan's phone buzzes with a text and his jaw tightens. Work's a mess, he mutters, but I wonder if it's Liam, feeding him more warnings about me. I clear the table, my mind racing with the images on my phone. Proof of Nathan's crimes enough to destroy him, but only if I'm brave enough to use it. Clara calls as I'm washing dishes, her voice low. Sophie, I'm so sorry about Liam. He's complicated, but I've got your back. She pauses, then adds, I talked to Detective Grace. She's investigating Nathan's brewery for fraud. She wants to meet you. Can you do it? My throat tightens. Meeting a detective feels like crossing a line I can't uncross. I'm not ready, I whisper, glancing at the living room where Nathan's on a call, his voice sharp. He's watching me, Clara. Liam told him something. Clara's voice hardens. I know. Liam's scared I'm choosing you over him. He's wrong, but he's desperate to save our marriage. Please, Soph, just meet Grace. She can help. I hesitate. The burner phones weight heavy in my mind. Okay, I say finally. But not yet. I need more time. Clara sighs, relieved but tense. I'll set it up. Stay safe. That night, Nathan's mood shifts, his eyes cold as he watches me chop vegetables for dinner. You seem distracted, he says, leaning against the counter, a glass of bourbon in hand. Something on your mind. His tone is a trap, and I force my hands to stay steady. Just tired? I lie, smiling. Don't make me worry, Sophie. His voice is soft, but the threat is clear. I nod, my stomach churning, and turn back to the cutting board, sketching his menacing silhouette in my mind, a drawing I'll add to my coded journal later. After dinner, I slip into the guest room, pretending to organize old books. I pull out my sketchbook, hidden in a box of novels, and draw Nathan's silhouette, the lines jagged, capturing his control. Beneath the sketch, I write in code, dates, times, his threats, disguised as art notes. The burner phone's photos burn in my memory, but I'm not ready to share them. Fear still chains me. But Clara's call, her promise of grace, sparks something new. I sketch a broken lock, its pieces falling, a silent vow. I'm not his prisoner forever. I'm standing in my Asheville kitchen, the scent of burnt pasta clinging to the air. Nathan's face is a storm, his eyes blazing as he hurls a plate against the wall, shards scattering across the hardwood. Are you kidding me? He snarls, grabbing my arms, his fingers digging into the bruises he left last week. One thing, Sophie. One damn thing. I shrink back, my heart racing. But the burner phone in my pocket is recording, capturing every word, every sound of his rage. The pain is sharp, familiar. But something's different tonight. I'm not just surviving. I'm fighting back, and it feels like waking up. I'm sorry, I whisper, the apology automatic, but my mind's on the phone. Its tiny red light, my secret weapon. Nathan shakes me, his voice a growl. You're useless sometimes, you know that? He releases me, storming to the fridge for a beer, and I stumble against the counter, my cheek throbbing where his hand grazed it. The recording stops as I slip the phone into my sleeve, my hands shaking but steady enough. I've got evidence now, undeniable, and it's the first time I've felt power in years. I clean up the broken plate, my movements mechanical, and Nathan slumps on the couch, muttering about work stress. I nod, playing the part, but my mind's racing. Liam's betrayal yesterday, warning Nathan I might act out, has him on edge, and this outburst proves it. I need to move fast. I text Clara from the burner phone, hidden in the bathroom. It's time. Her reply comes instantly. Pack Square, 2 p.m. I'm bringing Maya and Grace. My heart pounds. Detective Grace, the fraud investigator, is my way out. But meeting her means no turning back. At Pack Square Park, Asheville's heart pulses with street musicians strumming guitars and tourists snapping photos of the Art Deco courthouse. I sit on a bench, my sweater hiding fresh bruises, my sketchbook clutched like a shield. Clara arrives first, her face pale but determined, followed by Maya, her silver-streaked hair catching the autumn sun. Grace, a woman in her 50s with a no-nonsense gaze, joins us, her badge tucked discreetly in her jacket. Sophie, she says, her voice firm but kind, I've been tracking Blue Ridge Brew's finances. Your photos of Nathan's laptop could seal the embezzlement case. And with your abuse evidence, we can hit him with assault charges. I hand over the burner phone, my hands trembling as I play the recording from last night. Nathan's voice cruel and clear, followed by my stifled cry. Clara's eyes fill with tears, and she grips my hand. I'm so sorry, I didn't see it sooner, she whispers. Maya nods, her expression steady. You're brave, Sophie. We've got a safe house ready, and Grace can file for an arrest warrant tomorrow. I swallow hard, the weight of their words sinking in. He's planning a cabin trip in the Smoky Mountains this weekend, I say, my voice low. No phones, no people. I think he knows I'm slipping away. Grace's eyes narrow. That's a red flag. Men like Nathan isolate their victims when they feel control slipping. We need to move fast. Clara squeezes my hand tighter. You're not going to that cabin, Soph. We'll get you out tomorrow. Maya slides me a new burner phone. This one with a single word programmed as a text. Ash. Send that when you're ready to leave, she says. We'll be there. I nod, my throat tight, and sketch the park's vibrant chaos in my mind. A guitar player, a child chasing a pigeon, anchoring my resolve to escape. Back home, Nathan's in an oddly cheerful mood, bringing home my favorite pecan pie, his smile too bright. Thought we'd celebrate before our getaway, he says, kissing my forehead. His touch feels like a cage closing, and I force a smile, my mind on the burner phone hidden in my art box. Sounds perfect, I lie, my voice steady despite the panic clawing at me. He watches me closely, his eyes searching for cracks, and I know he suspects something. I sketch his fake smile in my journal later. That night, I pack a decoy bag for the cabin, jeans, a sweater, nothing suspicious, while my real escape bag waits in the closet. Documents, medication, my sketchbook, the burner phone. I lie awake beside Nathan, his arm heavy across my waist, and stare at the ceiling, rehearsing tomorrow's plan. Clara's coming with Grace and Maya. They'll block the driveway, arrest Nathan, set me free. But fear whispers, what if he fights? What if he wins? I trace the broken lock I sketched last night, its pieces falling, and whisper to myself, you're not his anymore. Tomorrow I'll send Ash, and everything changes. I'm standing in my Asheville kitchen, the morning sun filtering through the curtains, casting long shadows across the hardwood. My hands tremble as I pour coffee. The burner phone hidden in my art supply box upstairs, its single programmed word, Ash, burning in my mind. Nathan's at the table, scrolling through his phone, his suit pressed for another day at Blue Ridge Brews. But he's coming home early for our romantic Smoky Mountains cabin trip. I know it's a trap to isolate me, and today's the day I escape. My real bag, documents, medication, sketchbook, is tucked in the closet, while a decoy bag for the cabin sits by the door, packed with clothes I'll never wear. Clara, Maya, and Detective Grace are ready, their plan set. Arrest Nathan. Get me to the safe house. My heart pounds, but I'm not his prisoner anymore. I set the coffee down, my smile practiced, and Nathan glances up, his eyes lingering. You're quiet today, he says, his voice warm but probing. Excited for the cabin? I nod, my throat tight. Can't wait, just packing a few things. His smile widens, but it doesn't reach his eyes, and I wonder if Liam's warning, his betrayal, has made him paranoid. Good, he says, standing and kissing my forehead, his hand possessive on my neck. I'll be back by 3. Be ready. I nod again and he leaves, his Audi's engine fading down the street. The moment the door closes, I spring into action. I check the decoy bag, jeans, a sweater, a scarf, to ensure it looks convincing. Upstairs, I retrieve the burner phone and slip it into my bra, alongside a tiny microphone Maya gave me to record Nathan if he turns violent. My sketchbook, filled with coded journal entries and drawings of his cruelty, goes into my escape bag. I hide it behind a coat in the closet, my hands steady despite the fear clawing at me. Clara texts the burner phone. We're set. Grace has the warrant. I'll block the driveway at 3. I reply, ready, and sketch a quick image in my mind. A door swinging open, light flooding in. The hours crawl by, each tick of the clock amplifying my nerves. I clean the kitchen, my movements mechanical, to keep suspicion at bay if Nathan checks in. At noon, I sit at the dining table, sketching on a scrap of paper. A broken chain, its links scattering, a symbol of what's coming. The burner phone buzzes with a final text from Maya. Stay calm! Raven's with us. Raven? The name's new and curiosity prickles, but there's no time to ask. I hide the sketch in my pocket and pace, rehearsing my words for when Nathan returns. At 2:50, a car pulls into the driveway and my heart leaps. I peek through the curtains. It's Clara, right on time. Her sedan positioned to block the exit. I open the door, pulling her inside before she can knock. "You okay?" she whispers, her eyes scanning my face, lingering on the fading bruise on my cheekbone. "As ready as I'll ever be," I say, my voice low. We review the plan. I let Nathan in, act normal, record if he's aggressive. Clara stays out of sight in the kitchen, Grace waits down the street with the warrant, and Maya and Raven are nearby, ready to whisk me to the safe house. "Who's Raven?" I ask. Clara's eyes soften. "A survivor? Like you. She helps Maya now." I nod, a spark of hope igniting. At 3:15, Nathan's black Audi pulls in and my stomach lurches. He's early. I signal Clara to hide, and she slips into the kitchen, her footsteps silent. I take a deep breath, smoothing my sweater, and open the door as Nathan strides up, his weekend bag slung over his shoulder, his smile too bright. "Ready for our getaway?" he asks, setting his keys on the hall table. "Almost," I say, my voice wavering slightly. "Just grabbing a few things." His eyes narrow, catching my unease, and he steps closer. "Everything okay, Sophie?" "You seem off." I force a smile, backing toward the living room. "Fine, just excited." Through the window, I see Clara's car blocking the driveway, and Nathan notices, his head snapping toward it. "Whose car's that?" he asks, his voice sharpening. I swallow hard, my hand brushing the burner phone in my bra. "Clara's," I say, steadying myself. "She stopped by earlier, must have left it." His expression hardens, suspicion flickering. "Clara? Why's she here now?" Before I can answer, "Because I asked her to be," I say, my voice stronger than I feel. "This is what you've done to me, Nathan." His face contorts, rage flashing. "You ungrateful—" He snarls, lunging toward me, but Clara steps out, her voice firm. "That's enough, Nathan." He freezes, startled, his eyes darting between us. "This is between me and my wife," he snaps. "Get out." Clara stands her ground, and I feel the microphone recording, capturing his venom. Outside, another car pulls up. Grace, right on schedule. The door opens and she enters, badge in hand, her voice commanding, Nathan Carr, I have a warrant for your arrest for financial fraud and domestic assault." Nathan's face pales, but he scoffs, his charm kicking in. "This is a mistake. Sophie's lying. She's unstable." I pull the burner phone from my bra, playing the recording from last night, his voice clear. "You're useless, Sophie." My cry follows, and his eyes widen, realization dawning. A woman steps in behind Grace, Raven, tall, with fierce eyes and a scar on her cheek blocking the door. "You're not running?" she says, her voice low. Nathan lunges for the back door, but Raven's faster. Grabbing his arm with practiced strength, Grace cuffs him, reading his rights as he sputters, his mask shattered. I stand frozen, watching my prison door swing open. I'm sitting on a worn couch in a West Asheville safe house, the walls adorned with mismatched art and knitted blankets, a far cry from the sterile perfection of my Biltmore Village prison. It's been 6 hours since Nathan's arrest, and my hands still shake, clutching a mug of chamomile tea Maya handed me. The safe house is cozy, tucked in a quirky neighborhood of bungalows and murals. But I feel exposed, like Nathan's eyes are still on me. 2 other women share the space, Lila, a quiet nurse with haunted eyes, and Tess, a fiery artist covered in tattoos. They nod but don't pry, and I'm grateful for the silence. Maya sits across from me, her silver-streaked hair pulled into a bun, her gaze steady. "You did it, Sophie," she says, her voice warm. "You're safe now." I want to believe her, but fear whispers, "He'll find you." He always does. I sip the tea, its warmth grounding me, and glance at my sketchbook on the coffee table, open to a drawing of Raven's silhouette from yesterday, her strength a beacon in the chaos. "What happens next?" I ask, my voice small. Maya leans forward. "You stay here as long as you need. We've got counseling, legal help, job resources. Grace is building the case against Nathan. Your evidence is solid." Clara visits that afternoon, her face pale, her eyes red from crying. She hugs me tightly, mindful of my bruises, and sits beside me. "I'm so sorry, Soph," she whispers. "Liam, he tried to warn Nathan again after I told him I was helping you. I've left him, at least for now." My heart aches for her. She's lost so much for me, but I'm angry too. Why didn't you see it sooner? I ask, the words spilling out. She flinches, tears falling. I was blind, caught up in Liam's world, his business. I thought you were just struggling. I'm here now. I nod, not ready to forgive but needing her. Maya starts group art sessions in the evenings, a safe space to create. I sketch a broken chain, its links scattering across the page, mirroring the one I drew before the escape. Lila draws a birdcage, Tess a burning house, and we share without words, our art speaking what we can't. I feel a flicker of the artist I was, the graphic designer who dreamed in color before Nathan dulled my world. Clara joins one session, her drawing a cracked mirror, and we exchange a look, sisters rebuilding what was lost. Grace calls, updating me. Nathan's in custody, his trial set for next month. My embezzlement photos and recordings strengthen the case, and she's pushing for a restraining order. He's trying to charm his way out, she warns, but it's not working. I nod, relief mixing with dread. What if he gets out? I sketch his defeated face in my mind, a promise to stay strong. At the Safe House's partner cafe, I meet Evan, a barista with warm hazel eyes who notices my sketchbook. Those are incredible, he says, pointing to my broken chain drawing. I blush, unused to kindness, and we talk about art, coffee, Asheville's art scene. He's a poet, scribbling verses on napkins, and I feel a spark, fragile but real. That night, I lie awake in my bunk, the safe house creaking softly. I pull out my sketchbook and draw the safe house's porch, its glowing windows a haven. Liam's second betrayal stings, but Clara's here, Maya's here, and Evan's out there, a hint of something new. I text Clara. Thank you for coming back. Her reply is instant. Always, Soph. I close my eyes, not sleeping yet, but the chains are loosening, and I'm starting to believe I can fly free. The Buncombe County Courthouse looms over. I sit in the witness stand, my hands clasped tightly, the microphone amplifying my shallow breaths. Nathan's eyes bore into me from the defendant's table, his charm dialed up for the jury. Crisp suit, remorseful smile, but I know the monster beneath. My sketchbook, now evidence, lies open on the prosecutor's table, its pages of coded journal entries and drawings of my bruises laid bare. I'm testifying, my voice steady despite the tremor in my chest, recounting 3 years of his abuse. The burner phone's recordings play, his voice snarling, "You're useless, Sophie," followed by my cry, and the courtroom stills, the jury's faces hardening. I describe the night he hit me over burnt pasta, the mornings I hid bruises with makeup, the way he forced me to quit my graphic design job. My sketches, projected on a screen, show his menacing silhouette, a broken lock, a constellation of marks on my arm. These were my truth, I say, my voice breaking but clear, when I couldn't speak it. Nathan's lawyer tries to paint me as unstable, but Grace, the detective, counters with the embezzlement evidence, photos from his laptop, offshore accounts draining Blue Ridge Brews. The jury deliberates for 2 days, and when the verdict comes, guilty on fraud and assault, I exhale, a weight lifting. Nathan's sentenced to 7 years for embezzlement, 2 for assault, and I secure a permanent restraining order. Clara sits behind me, her hand squeezing mine as Nathan's led away, his charm shattered, his eyes flashing rage. Liam's absence is heavy. Clara's divorce proceedings are underway, his betrayal, warning Nathan twice, too deep to mend. Outside reporters swarm, but Maya shields me, guiding me to her car. "You were incredible," she says, her voice warm. I nod, numb but lighter, and sketch the courthouse in my mind. Its doors open, freedom beyond. Evan, the barista from the Safe House Cafe, waits by the car, having slipped in to support me. "You okay?" he asks, his hazel eyes kind. I manage a smile, and we grab coffee at a quiet shop on Haywood Street, talking about art over steaming mugs. His presence is gentle, a contrast to Nathan's control, and I feel a spark grow, tentative but real. Back at the safe house, I pour my story into an anonymous journal, Shades of Courage, blending my sketches and writings. Maya encourages me to share it online, and it spreads, comments flooding in from survivors. "Your words saved me." The response overwhelms me, and I sketch a glowing lantern, its light piercing darkness, a symbol of their voices joining mine. Clara visits, her face softer but tired. I'm proud of you, Soph, she says, hugging me. I'm staying with a friend until the divorce is final. Liam's trying, but it's over. I nod, our bond mending, and we draw together. A cracked mirror, a mended heart, our art a bridge. Evan and I meet again at the cafe, sharing sketches and poems. He shows me a napkin with a verse about resilience, and I show him my lantern drawing, our hands brushing as we laugh. It's small, but it's mine, a choice Nathan can't take. Grace calls, confirming Nathan's transfer to a state prison, and I breathe easier, sketching his defeated face one last time, then tearing it up. The safe house feels like home, but I'm ready for more. Maya hints at a job opportunity, and I sketch a new door, its handle within reach, knowing I'm almost ready to step through. 9 months after Nathan's arrest, I stand behind the counter of an art gallery in Asheville's River Arts District, arranging flyers for an upcoming exhibition. The space hums with creativity, canvases of bold abstracts, sculptures glinting in the sunlight streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows. My graphic design skills, dormant for years, are alive again, crafting posters and digital ads for the gallery. The air smells of paint and possibility, and I'm Sophie Bennett, no longer a shadow. My apartment above the gallery, a cozy loft with exposed brick, is my sanctuary. Its walls lined with my sketches. A broken chain, a glowing lantern, a city skyline. Maya visits, her silver-streaked hair catching the light as she surveys my work. "The gallery's thriving," she says, handing me a coffee. "I've got a proposal. I'm expanding the Safe House network. 3 new locations across North Carolina. I need a coordinator, someone who gets the emotional and practical sides." "You in?" My heart leaps, but doubt creeps in. Am I enough? I think of Lila and Tess, the women I shared the safe house with, now rebuilding their lives, and nod. "I'd be honored," I say, sketching a network of stars in my mind, each a woman finding her way. Clara arrives with Ellie, her 6-year-old daughter, whose sandy curls bounce as she runs to hug me. "Aunt Sophie, can I see your drawings?" she asks, her eyes bright. I show her a sketch of Pack Square, vibrant with buskers, and Clara's divorce is final, and she's renting a bungalow nearby, her face lighter despite the scars of Liam's betrayal. "Ellie loves you," she says, watching her daughter draw. "And I'm sorry again for not seeing it sooner." I squeeze her hand. "You're here now." Our bond, once frayed, is stronger, woven with shared pain and art. Evan and I grow closer, meeting at the gallery or the cafe, swapping sketches and stories. He shares a poem about a river carving new paths, and I show him a painting I'm working on. Asheville's skyline, vibrant against a stormy sky, my freedom captured in color. Our hands linger when we pass the sketchbook, and I feel ready for something new, though I'm cautious, Nathan's shadow still a faint echo. One evening, Evan helps me hang a canvas, his laugh warm, and I sketch his profile in my mind, open, kind, a future I might choose. I lead a support group at the gallery after hours, a circle of survivors sharing stories. Naomi, a new member, reads a poem about captivity, her voice trembling but fierce, and I see myself in her, tentative steps toward healing. "Your journal helped me leave," she says later, and I hug her, sketching her silhouette in my mind, a warrior emerging. The group stories fuel my work with Maya, planning safe house logistics, and I feel purpose, my art and advocacy entwined. I prepare for the gallery's exhibition, where my paintings will debut, including Unchained, a piece inspired by my escape, a woman breaking free, light bursting through chains. Liam reaches out, asking to see Ellie, and Clara agrees. Supervised visits only. He texts me an apology. "I was wrong, Sophie. I hurt you both." I don't reply, but I tell Clara, "If he's trying, that's for Ellie, not us." She nods, and we draw together. Ellie's stick figures are mended hearts. A family redefined. The exhibition looms, a celebration of my journey, and I sketch its poster in my mind. Unchained, bold, and free, a promise to myself and others, Naomi's poetry, Evan's support, Clara's love. They're my anchors, and I'm ready to shine, one canvas at a time. The River Arts District Gallery buzzes with life, its exposed brick walls glowing under string lights, canvases bursting with color against the hum of voices. I stand by my exhibition's centerpiece, Unchained, a painting of a woman shattering iron links, light spilling through the cracks. My hands, once trembling with fear, now hold a glass of sparkling water, steady as I greet guests. The air smells of paint and fresh-baked pastries from the cafe next door, and Asheville's creative pulse wraps around me like a warm blanket. This is my night, my story, and I'm Sophie Bennett free. Clara weaves through the crowd, her auburn hair catching the light, Ellie clinging to her hand, a crayon sketch of my painting tucked under her arm. Aunt Sophie, it's so pretty. Ellie beams, hugging me, her curls tickling my chin. Clara's eyes shine with pride. You did it, Soph? She whispers, squeezing my shoulder. Her divorce is final, and she's thriving. Her own art, delicate watercolors, selling at a local shop. Liam's visits with Ellie are supervised, his apology to me unanswered but acknowledged for her sake. Our bond, once frayed, is whole again, stitched with love and forgiveness. Maya arrives, her silver-streaked hair elegant in a bun, her presence grounding. The exhibition's a hit, she says, gesturing to the crowd, and the Safe House Network's lucky to have you. I've been coordinating her new locations for months, balancing it with my gallery work, my graphic design skills reborn in flyers and logos for survivors. I nod, grateful, and sketch her silhouette in my mind. Strong like the oaks lining Asheville's streets. Grace the detective slips in, her badge tucked away, offering a rare smile. Nathan's not going anywhere for years, she says. You're safe. I exhale, the last of his shadow fading. Raven, the fierce survivor who blocked Nathan's escape, stands by a sculpture, chatting with Tess, my safe house friend. Their laughter, raw and free, reminds me of the women I've met through the support group. Naomi the poet steps to a small stage, her voice steady as she reads a poem dedicated to us. From cages we rise, wings of ink and fire. The crowd hushes, her words echoing my journey, and I see tears in Clara's eyes. Naomi's silhouette joins my mental sketchbook, a warrior beside mine. My journal, Shades of Courage, now a resource for shelters, has sparked letters from survivors, their stories fueling my work. Evan approaches, his hazel eyes warm, a napkin poem tucked in his jacket. Your paintings are incredible, he says, pointing to Unchained. We've grown close, sharing art and coffee, our bond built on trust, not control. Tonight, he helped hang my canvases, his laugh easing my nerves. Can I take you to dinner tomorrow? He asks, his voice soft but Yes, I say, my heart open, ready for a choice that's mine. I sketch his profile in my mind. Kind, a new beginning. The gallery owner calls for a toast, and I step forward, my voice clear. This exhibition is for every woman who's found her voice, I say, raising my glass. To courage, to freedom. The crowd cheers, and Clara, Maya, Grace, Raven, Tess, and Naomi raise their glasses, their faces glowing. Ellie tugs my hand, whispering, You're my hero, Aunt Sophie. I hug her, tears pricking my eyes, and sketch this moment, a circle of light, unbreakable. As guests mingle, I slip to a quiet corner, pulling out my sketchbook. I draw Clara and me, hand in hand, our faces fierce, a nod to the stick figures we drew as kids. The lines are bold, capturing our journey from silence to strength. I close the book, my heart full, and rejoin the crowd, laughing with Evan over a shared joke about bad coffee. Naomi's poem lingers, her words a melody of hope, and I know I'm not alone, never was. Later, I climb the stairs to my loft above the gallery, the street below quiet, stars scattered across the sky. I turn the key in the lock, the click no longer a cage, but a promise of peace. Inside, my walls hold sketches, broken chains, glowing lanterns, Asheville's skyline, each a step toward myself. I hang unchained above my desk, its light a reminder of the woman I've become. Nathan's trial, Clara's return, Maya's shelter, Evan's kindness. They've woven a new life, one I choose every day. I sit at my desk, opening my sketchbook to a blank page. I draw a door, wide open, light pouring through, and right beneath it, for every woman still finding her way. The support group meets tomorrow, Naomi's poetry a beacon for us all, and I'll share this sketch. A promise to keep fighting. I close the book, the gallery's hum fading below, and lock my door, keeping peace in, fear out. I'm home and I'm free. I hope you enjoyed this story. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss touching stories. Leave a like and then comment below